My name is Pete, and you're watching the P-Life channel. Alright, so today we have a special video. This is my 2023 911 Turbo S. I haven't posted any other videos about it. It's actually kind of an exit interview for this car. Headed for several thousand miles. Got it in 2022. Absolutely wonderful machine. For today's video, I want to go over the specifications a little bit. I want to go over what my driving impressions are for having owned the car and driven it kind of on a regular basis. I've driven it on summer tires, winter tires. I actually also have some modifications that I did to the car. I wanted to review what it's like to live with a BC Fabrications full exhaust system and cargraphic valve controller that I had installed on the car pretty much from the get-go. So let's get right into it. Alright, so I'm going to walk you guys around the vehicle. This is, obviously, as you can tell, it's a paint the sample British Racing Green convertible. There's not a lot of whole options on this car, so paint the sample. It's got the Sport Classic interior, which I'll show you guys some close-ups of it. Beautiful interior. Actually, very lucky that I was able to spec this combination. A very classic heritage-inspired spec. The only other things I got on this car were the sport suspension and the clear taillights in the back. So I'll walk you around the car a little bit. Comes standard with ceramic brakes. I opted to get these kind of Fuchs looking wheels. Here's the clear taillights. I did not spec the sport exhaust because, as you're going to find out, there's a little bit of magic happening in there. And I'll go over that in a little bit more detail. This package is pretty spectacular because it comes with tons of leather. It has like extended leather in the back. It has the Porsche crest on the headrests. It even has leather on the seat backs. And then you get these leather trimmed floor mats, which have this like basket weave appearance. And then you also get these green dials. I don't know if you can see if it's in focus. You get these like heritage green dials for the Sport Chrono and also for the tachometer. You also get leather trim on the dash and then on the doors. But yeah, that's pretty much my spec. Now let's go for a rip and see how it drives. So inside the 911 Turbo S Cabrio, I got the top up so that you can actually hear me well, and there's quite a bit of traffic right now, so I'm just going to give you my thoughts on the car, and I'm also going to give you my thoughts on the Benjamin Close Fabrications full exhaust system for this car. So I'm going to start off with the exhaust system because it's actually one of the best parts about my experience that I've had so far on this car. So I've got 200 cell catalytic converters going into this Frankenstein looking concoction. It's actually quite beautiful. It's a 2 X pipes with different diameters, and the valve's closed path is a smaller diameter than the valve's open path. And the valve's closed path, there's no mufflers on. It doesn't boom. It is basically almost like stock, and you'll actually hear how loud and how much like pandemonium this thing sounds when you change the different modes. There's literally zero resonance, zero drone, and you can hear the car just like trying to suck in the whole planet It's extraordinarily deep and dark, even though it's got an X pipe, and it just sounds phenomenal. I would highly recommend it. So as far as the Turbo S is concerned, this, after owning it for a while, this may actually be the best car that Porsche makes. The only thing it doesn't do is it cannot be a GT3 and it cannot be a Cayenne. So basically everything else, it's literally the perfect car. You can daily it, you can take it to the track. There's literally zero compromise. Specifically also with respect to the convertible versus the coupe, I know that a lot of people prefer the coupe styling. However, there is significant reinforcements to the chassis and weight saving measures. Like, for example, the panels in the roof here are magnesium, and they're very, very light. So really the roof mechanism and all-wheel drive and everything, it's much heavier than a GT car, but considering it's an all-wheel drive, you know, supercar with an automatic roof which is controllable with one button or two buttons, it's absolutely spectacular. Totally under the radar, no compromise in performance. You get the open air experience. Such a wonderful machine, and really the only downsides to it are how expensive it is, and it's like scary expensive. Is it worth it? Absolutely. I can't think of a car, you know, for mid to high twos, which is in the same category. Pound for pound, the way this thing puts down power, the way that this thing, it just feels like it's slicing big chunks off of the road, and just clawing into it, propelling you forward. There is literally, you know, even with winter tires, this thing is a deep into the 10s stock in the quarter mile. It's absolutely spectacular. The suspension is really, really good. It's actually much more comfortable than a GT car. It's still pretty stiff and flat. I just ride it around in comfort suspension mode. Super compliant. The PDK has some throttle dependent mapping, which makes it feel a little bit slow if you're lazy on the gas and the brake. When you go to Sport Plus or individual mode, where you can program Sport Plus with the arrow off for maximum speed, it's a lot snappier and forceful. Cargraphic valve controller, no roof. Literally sounds like bazooka blast. Couldn't tell. All right, let's do it. Nuts? Oh shit. Nasty!
Wow.
Like an actual fucking gunshot.
That was, yeah, it sounded like a machine gun.
Badass. And again, if you want to go quiet, just close them. Not closed valves, but, you know, stock valve operation. Go to regular mode, even with the top down. where the car is significantly louder. It's very, very quiet. No headaches, no drone, nothing. So in conclusion, this may actually be the best car Porsche makes. There's a reason why it's so expensive and why it's the flagship. In my opinion, I've actually had a coupe as well, there's literally no downside to the convertible in terms of a driving dynamics, maybe from an aesthetic perspective, but from a driving experience, especially if you're a little bit of a hooligan and you like to listen to exhaust and feel like Superman going fast, there's no compromise to having the convertible. And yeah, it's the flagship for a reason. They threw the kitchen sink at this car, and yeah, I don't think I can drive anything else faster than this on any road or track. Just makes you look like Superman basically, and feel like Superman when you have the top down, because you're actually flying. So thank you for watching the video. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Feel free to reach out at plifechannel@gmail.com. I love having conversations about cars. If you have any questions about other stuff too, feel free to reach out. And thank you so much, and have a great day.